Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch was launched at Basel World in 2010 as the latest in a long succession of Omega Speedmaster professional Moonwatch Moonphase models, and it is a Speedmaster Professional. You can see that right on the dial. What makes this one different is that it is an Aventurine dial, so a very upscale piece and one that even I rarely see in my line of work. It's always worth investigating when one of these appears. So the watch is larger than a standard Speedmaster Professional. In steel, it's 44.25 millimeters in diameter. It's 14.7 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, just the case, 49.5 millimeters. And then the solid end links of the bracelet are 54.7 millimeters across the wrist with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We'll throw it on my wrist now, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. It does wear larger than a standard moon watch, and I could wear this, but I think if your wrist is any smaller than mine, problems will develop. So I would say you can wear this on a wrist of 16 centimeters circumference and larger. Here's your cuff shot to see how it might interfere with your sleeve, and then down the barrel. It's the end links of the bracelet that push this over to the edge of my wrist. The bracelet's a nice piece. You can see it's substantial, a 3-link design. It's got a solid end link that mates cleanly to the case. We've got polished flanks, polished intermediates, a little bit of a taper down from the end link towards the clasp. You can see removable links on both sides are fixed by screws. You can size this up with a jeweler's screwdriver. With a strap tool, you've got 2 different slots for anchoring the bracelet if you want to move back and forth and just make a microscopic adjustment there, a few millimeters. It is a thick gauge single fold steel clasp, twin trigger release. You can see that the Omega name, logo, and Speedmaster nomenclature still very clear and distinct and sharp on the clasp. We have the famous Speedmaster Professional case with shear guards for the crown and pushers, and then lyre-style lugs with the inward bevel, but then also the outward bevel. The outward bevel is polished and runs all the way across. The mid-case is satin brushed and runs end to end. You can see the Omega logo on the crown. It's a push-down crown. The watch, surprisingly, though, 100 meters water resistant, solidly more than the 50 of a standard moon watch, so you can actually swim with this one. It is a sapphire sandwich with a sapphire crystal on both sides, and then we've got a ceramic tachometric insert and a dramatically boxed and cambered sapphire over the top, designed to resemble a plexi or a hesselite, as you might find on a vintage or true spacefaring moon watch. So there is lume on this dial. We'll take a look. We'll see it now. You can see it's surprisingly easy to read in the dark, and that the chronograph seconds hand is also luminescent. The dial base is made of silver, and then the aventurine, it's not aventurine stone. It is a type of enamel that looks like aventurine stone. So it's a vitreous enamel fired on top of the silver base to create this glassy surface, and it is a glass-based paint. It also has metallic elements in it, so it winds up looking like a polished aventurine stone, or even like we're gazing into the infinite cosmos of sky and stars, which fits the mission brief of this watch well. Now, we have all applique indices because this is an upscale model. And then at the top, you can see we have a coaxial lunette-style pointer date and a moon phase display. It's also a chronograph, so this is a triple complication. You adjust the 2 displays right here. Then we turn it all over. The movement is decorated to the standard of the display caseback, model 1863, but this is the reference 1866. So it's the 1863's decorative standard, but it's also the addition of the complication for the dial side. And then we turn back to the case back, and you can see it is still Lemania based. It's based on the Lemania 1873 Abauche, and it's still directly related to the movement used in space, which is a feather in its cap and gives this watch Speedmaster Professional legitimacy. You can see it's a 3 hertz beat rate. It is an 18 joule movement. It has a lateral clutch with a very crisp cam-based function cycler. Listen. Honestly, the quality of Omega and Lemania parts these days, even for a watch that came out in 2010, it's now so sharp it may as well be a column wheel. There's no loss of tactile quality or sound or snap here. It is a 48-hour manual wind power reserve, and you can see the elements of the display case back 1866, or a big step up compared to the later 3861 that you'll find on a modern Moonwatch. The standards were just a little bit better on these. Still mostly machine executed, but more convincing as decorative elements, and there were quite a few handsome elements here. A lovable watch and a hard one to find. This is about as premium as a Speedmaster gets. And if you love it, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.